Thank you very much, Mr. President. I warmly welcome to the Council His Excellency Mr. Zbigniew Rau, the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Poland and Chairman-in-Office of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. I thank Your Excellency for the briefing on the OSCE and note that Poland has assumed the leadership of this important organization at a time when the security situation and the political military environment in Europe is fast deteriorating. We therefore look forward to the OSCE's continued engagement and your leadership in helping to address the prevailing security challenges in Europe. I also thank USG Rosemary DiCarlo for her briefing and welcome the participation of the representative of Ukraine in this meeting. Mr. President, Ghana takes note of the issues outlined by the OSCE Chairman-in-Office, in particular the commitment to pay special attention to finding peaceful solutions to the conflicts in the OSCE area, and encourages all efforts in resolving the situations in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Nagorno-Karabakh, as well as the alarming situation in Ukraine following the Russian Federation's unjustified aggression against its neighbor. We also look forward to the additional efforts that will be made to respond effectively to the complex challenges of increased fragmentation, terrorism, anti-Semitism, transboundary crimes, and violations of human rights and freedoms that Europe is presently grappling with. Mr. President, against this backdrop, I would like to make the following additional points. First, Ghana welcomes the Polish commitment to uphold the concept of comprehensive and indivisible security based on the Helsinki Final Act and the Charter of Paris for a New Europe, as well as other decisions of the OSCE, which also embody the very principles and purposes of the United Nations. Ensuring security on the European continent today requires of the participating states of the OSCE a renewed commitment to uphold and respect the long-established principles for interstate relations, the principles of sovereignty, political independence, territorial integrity, non-aggression, and the prohibition of the use or threat of the use of force remain the foundational principles upon which national and global aspirations for economic and social development can be built. Any attempts to redefine and renegotiate these bulwarks of stability will not only undermine the European security architecture, but also the rules-based international order and multilateralism. The OSCE must therefore undertake the difficult but necessary task of fostering political role and the recommitment of its member states to the implementation of their international obligations towards the peace, security, and stability of Europe, as well as its wider membership beyond Europe. Persistence in confidence and security-building measures among the participating states of the OSCE will therefore have to be sustained. Secondly, the OSCE's role as an important forum for dialogue on the security architecture of Europe needs to be re-emphasized. We believe that the OSCE provides a unique platform for open and good faith discussions among its 57 participating states if the schisms that have been opened up in the contemporary European security are to be addressed. We therefore welcome the ongoing efforts by the OSCE to facilitate dialogue between the Russian Federation and Ukraine. As party to the Trilateral Contact Group responsible for the implementation of the 2015 Minsk Agreement, the OSCE is indispensable in finding and implementing a comprehensive and peaceful settlement of the conflict, which regrettably has assumed a full-scale dimension. We note with regret in this context that the Special Monitoring Mission had to suspend its reporting activities following the evacuation of its international staff members to neighboring countries and remain concerned by cascading security, humanitarian, economic, and developmental impacts of the situation in Ukraine. All efforts towards the pacific resolution of this conflict through dialogue and diplomacy must therefore be encouraged and engender the full support of this Council. Thirdly, we welcome the OSCE's efforts to enhance its cooperation with the United Nations. Ghana strongly supports the strengthening of relations between the United Nations and regional and sub-regional organizations in the maintenance of international peace and security. Chapter 8 of the Charter of the United Nations provides that the Security Council, in pursuit of its mandate, can leverage the comparative advantage of regional bodies to promote homegrown and regional approaches to the maintenance of international peace and security. We acknowledge, however, the complexities that such cooperation entails, and it's for this reason that Ghana is working within the Special Committee on the Charter of the Organization to identify gaps and propose guidelines to enhance complementarity between the United Nations and regional organizations. Finally, we note the enhanced engagement of the United Nations and OSCE aimed at finding lasting peace to the prevailing conflicts and growing threats to security in Europe and beyond. We welcome the focus on a human-centered approach, and in that regard, take note of the reinforcing priorities within the economic environment dimensions, as well as the human security dimensions. I thank you very much, Mr. President.